Did you know the first land sales that happened in Williamstown was in 1837? Yes, this is a very old suburb that's got a rich history of shipbuilding and ship repair at its docks. What seems like 180-degree views of water around the suburb of Williamstown, you'll find on one side of it you've got some of Melbourne's best city views, and on the other side of Williamstown you've got some fantastic views of Port Phillip Bay next to its own beach. Williamstown is definitely one of Melbourne's premier suburbs. It's a postcode that most people would dream of living in. It's probably one of Melbourne's top 20 suburbs, and it seems to be a suburb that is in such high demand that every buyer would love to have a slice of real estate. So it's known for having heritage listed property on really small blocks of land. It's also famous for having a really difficult council to deal with when it comes to renovations and new builds. So the types of real estate that you're going to find in Williamstown: Victorian terraces and cottages. Williamstown has one of the best preserved collections of Victoria era housing in Melbourne, particularly around the historic precinct near Nelson's Place and the foreshore. Early 1900s Edwardian homes, Californian bungalows. These are generally built from the 1920s to the 1930s. Many of these heritage homes are protected by overlays, which can restrict renovations, extensions, or demolitions. This is also a suburb that has a lot of protected trees, a lot of modern builds as well. If you drive across the Esplanade, it has some huge homes that have had massive investment put into them, and their values can be worth well above $4+ million as well, with beautiful foreshore views. Some of the home sales that have happened around the beach side of Williamstown have cracked over $10 million. The skyline of Williamstown over the last 20 years has changed a lot as well, and that's to the south side or the southeast end of Williamstown. There are apartments that unfortunately haven't done too well, even though its beautiful location hasn't had enough to save the properties from being poor investments when it comes to capital growth. Williamstown has two large commission towers to look out for. You don't want to be too close to these. Unfortunately, they do dominate the skyline of the heart of Williamstown. Being such a beautiful suburb that's in demand by so many different groups of buyers, it's naturally really difficult to buy property in this area. Real estate agents almost always go with the method of sale of auction, which makes it a really high risk purchase. All the work that any buyer needs to do from the perspective of knowing what you're buying, whether it's structurally sound, whether it's been a good investment, whether it's going to cause future maintenance problems. All this kind of work has to be done prior to an auction, because when you are attending auctions in this area, you can miss out on a dream home quite easily just from a lack of preparation. A small group of real estate agents control most of the listings in this area, and you'll find a lot of the pricing and how they advertise property is used with a method of underquoting, which adds another layer of difficulty when it comes to buying property. Now, if you're in the market for buying property in this area, I believe buyer's agents are absolutely essential for success when it comes to making sure that you're buying the right kind of property and also securing one that doesn't come up too often. This is not like a suburb where there is the same kind of listing that comes up over and over and over. You might only have one chance of buying something special in the one cycle that you're buying properties. So to increase your chances of winning an auction with superior auction strategies when it comes to bidding, buyer's agents really are the key. For more information, visit our website at Wise Real Estate Advice, or feel free to pick up the phone. We're more than happy to have a chat with anyone that has any questions.